This video I'm going to try to explain what slope is. Slope is basically the change in y value over change in x value. What does that mean? It actually means that how much y changes when we change x. That gives us the slope. So in order to show it with examples, we are going to use the examples in the last video. So we have a line that's y equals to x. Again, what we are going to do is we are going to again determine 2 points. I will show you y, point 1 and point 2. So let's say that point 1 is x1, y1 and point 2 is x2, y2. And let's say that point 1 is 1, 1. So it's basically our first point is this one right here. And let's say that point 2 is 3, 3. So our second point will be this one at this point. So as you can see, when we go from point 1 to point 2, we change the x value by this amount. I will call this delta x. And when we go from point 1 to point 2, the y value also changes. And y value changes by this amount. And I will call this delta y. So here we can see that delta y is y2 minus y1, which means that the y value of our second point minus y value of our first point. So that is 3 minus 1. So delta y is 2. Now let's calculate delta x. Delta x also means x2 minus x1. In that case, our x2 is 3 again and x1 is 1. So our delta x will be 2 again. Now, slope. Let me give you the formula. Slope is the change in y value over change in x value. So that is 2 over 2, which is 1. So slope of this line is 1, and it's very simple. We will not need to make a lot of calculations like that. I mean, we will not write these calculations again and again. It will just cost us time. So in the next examples, we are going to calculate the slope of these lines faster. Let's calculate the slope of this line. This line is y equals to 2x plus 4. So slope is, again, we are going to determine 2 points. Let's say our first point is this one, and our second point is this one. So you are not seeing here, but the y value of this one is minus 8. So when we go from this point, point 1, to this point, point 2, we change the x value by this amount, and we change the y value by that amount. So slope will be equal to delta y over delta x, which is delta y goes from minus 8 to minus 4. So the y value increases by 4, and x value goes from minus 6 to minus 4, which means that x value increases by 2. Therefore, our slope will be 2 in this case. So now let's calculate the slope of this last example. Our line is x plus 2y plus 2. Again, we are going to determine 2 points. Let's say that our first point is this one and our second point is that one. So the change in x is that amount, and change in y is this one. So we see that the x value increases from 2 to 4. So our delta x is 2. And we see that when x increases by 2, y decreases by 1. So delta y will be minus 1 because y value decreases by 1 when x value increases by 2. We can write slope equals to delta y over delta x, which is minus 1 over 2. Minus 1 over 2. So minus 1 over 2 is the slope of this line equation. Line, whatever. So let's look at the line equations and their corresponding slopes, and let's try to see a pattern in those line equations and their slopes. So here we have y equals to x, the slope is 1. Y equals to 2x plus 4, the slope is 2. So as you can see, this slope is the coefficient of our x variable. Slope is 2, coefficient of x is also 2. In line equation 3, I will write this equation in a different way. As you know, I can write this equation in this way. Put x plus 2 to the other side of the equation, minus x minus 2. And I divide both sides of the equation by 2. I get y equals to minus 1 over 2x minus 1. So here, as you can see, the slope of this line was minus 1 over 2, and the coefficient of x variable in our line is also minus 1 over 2. So we can say that when y variable is on one side of the equation alone, the coefficient of the x variable gives us this slope.